No, it's live.
It's
We're
live.
live.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh! We are live. Got a little peek behind the scenes there. uh, so here I am, and guess what? It's Friday. Oh yeah, it's Friday, and here we are with my friends Bit Savage, Bordo Saka, Fiona Aboud, and myself, Maximilian, and we've got something special for you today. Today, ArtSimp is presenting impressions. Now, sometimes people might call something like this a critique, but we're doing this a new way. And so we're sharing our impressions. Today, it's my head on the chopping block, getting dissected, getting looked at, looking very closely, talking, discussing. I'm very excited to share some of these works that nobody has seen. So I'm very looking forward to getting this feedback. My friends keep telling me that feedback is very important because it's how artists grow. We'll see. uh, but first and
very
foremost,
important.
I mean, listen, there's two sides to that, but I
can you just hold your point? Hold on 1 second. First and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Maximilian, and that's Maximilian. I do not go by Max, so please don't max me. I'm a Maxi, but don't max me. That's Maximilian with two X's and two L's. You can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, all the places. I've been putting art on the blockchain since 2021, art and music. You also see me later today with On-Chain Music Cabal with the MOB, that's Musicians on Blockchain, because I do all the things. But today, the focus is visual art, especially digital art. And we're talking about digital fine art because these are NFTs. These images that we're looking at, these are all going to be on the blockchain for you to collect and enjoy. Without further ado, now, let me introduce my co hosts and my very good friends. We'll start with oldest friends first. Oldest friends first. That's my friend Bit Savage. Go ahead, please, and introduce yourself, Bit Savage.
I'm not that old.
Well, I just mean like I've known
No, I'm
you
playing.
the
I'm
longest,
playing.
the
I'm playing.
longest. No, the oldest friends, my most longtime friends first.
We're all eternal. Um, so, hey, Fit Savage here. Been knowing Maximilian for, I feel like probably lifetimes, but it's been decades. And I call myself an interdisciplinary storyteller. I use different mediums to tell stories. I love using poetry, words, art, painting, digital formats. Been in the Web3 space since 2016. Been creating NFTs since 2018. So I'm an old head in the space mode. Um, but I love building and empowering creators around the world. This is what brought me to the space. I love this technology. I love leveling up, self empowerment, and I'm here to see this incredible art. Saw a few so far, and I every time Maximilian, you trick us or you kind of throw stuff out there on Twitter. I'm like, what is that? And like, yo, I'm like, I catch it. I'm like, okay, I catch your artwork. I love that you putting yourself out there. Um, Years ago, went to art school. They didn't really have these kind of peer-to-peer critiques. They should have had them in schools. But I love that this is coming into space. And the one last week was incredible. And I know this one's going to be great as well.
Thank you so much, Bit Savage, and thank you for joining us. One more thing, actually, before we go on to the next guest, would you talk a little bit about your platform? I'm so proud of you. I almost never want to introduce you without you talking about it. Please tell everyone
Yeah.
about your platform.
No. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Maximilian, for always extracting the juices. um, so, like I said, I've been in the space and I've got my funds together to do a platform on Ethereum and Base Chain, and did it again to make a platform for Bitcoin. So Adores is a self-funded platform supported by a few friends as well, and it's to make tooling easy to create for. So Bitcoin, they call them digital artifacts. You're actually inscribing on satoshis, and so Adores, we're simplifying the tools. We're looking at alkanes as well now, but just to make it to where creators can come, be in the community, learn the tools, and say, okay, how can I use this to help me, to benefit me? Um, what happened to the camera? So, so for me, it's like so for Doors, not only we're just building the tools and putting out there, I'm a creator as well. So for me, it's really important where I put in my art. I haven't minted a lot of art, But now that we can inscribe on Bitcoin, I'm ready to just throw a lot at it, and I want to make sure the technology is just used right. In the Bitcoin scene, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, like with inference APIs that kind of break and they don't work as well. So I said, you know what, let me build this from scratch, from the ground up, and that's what we did. So we're live. You can inscribe artwork. We have split contracts. It's not even a split contract. You can do a launch pad and you can split the payment to different wallets. So if you're collaborating, you can go to different wallets, and you can do a lot of stuff. So yep, I'm here in the space to help other artists.
Um,
Amazing.
can I ask for
Can you
uh
hold your question until after we do
sure,
the introduction?
sure.
Yes? Because Fiona, you're next anyway.
Oh. I was just gonna challenge myself to collect something on your platform, Bit Savage. I was gonna make
But
that my quest.
Fiona, right now we're doing introductions. Could you
Okay,
introduce yourself?
fair enough. I do
Okay.
like giving myself quests. Hi, my name is Fiona Aboud. I've been a social impact artist for like 25 years. I've worked around the world working on various issues such as education, uh, human rights, racism, financial inclusion. I've done projects in Brazil. I've done projects in West Africa, around the United States, also like religious tolerance. And I like fucking around on the blockchain and using smart contracts to support causes I believe in and to ignite other people to do the same. And I'm coming out with a contest. I know I've been teasing it out for a while. I feel like I'm like President Pump and like teasing out the Bitcoin reserve news. Like I'm like it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It's just news has been changing my approach as to how I'm going to uh put this out there. I want to make it very relevant. I want to use the blockchain to just fucking inscribe the shit that people want to erase from history because that's the power that it gives us, right? Like when I talk to artists about blockchain and then I'll be done my introduction, I am like you have control now. It's not the museums, it's not the archivists, it's not the galleries that take 50% of your work. It's not the people that are in control. You have the power now. So let's fuck around and find out.
I love it. So
And I
tell
love
us, wait,
all you, and I'm very happy to be chit chatting with you today and
me
talking
too.
about art, my favorite subject.
Me too. I'm so proud of you. What's the name of your project, Fiona?
Well, the overall thing that I'm stating is that we are now in an artist age of impactivism, meaning that art can now actually solve problems that it speaks to and it can have impact. In the past, there's been many art pieces of art that have helped change the course of history due to their visual impact. And now the same kind of visual impact, it can actually, if sold and through the smart contract, it can actually help fix, solve, contribute to in a very you hear about all these scams that people do where they don't actually the money doesn't actually get to where it's supposed to go. I mean, there's countless documentations of things like that, and in this scenario there's much more ways that you can actually track that impact. And who knows, in the future you might even be able to have like very discernible metrics that are like this money went here and then it went there and then it bought this and then it bought that, and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, I totally see how that worked. So I'm a blockchain maximalist. I love all the chains. No, I'm kidding. I don't like the ones that are too centralized. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm just very excited. 2025 is gonna be a really big year for everything that we're doing. So, um, please go
I'm
ahead,
excited about it. Just one more question, Fiona. I'm sorry, but I have to extract. I have to extract.
please.
Could you just tell us a little bit about your impactivism that's coming up? Who could be involved? What, like, maybe just a high level overview of what you're doing? You said it's a contest. Is it a visual art contest?
It is a visual art contest. I am kind of reformulating my initial approach. So I'm not going to quite say anything yet because
Okay.
I don't want there to be too many, basically like I'm declaring that there's this movement. I'm creating a contest around trying to preserve voices on the blockchain. I'm going to have a more formal statement forthcoming.
Cool.
Everyone's waiting with bated breath.
Surrounding visual art, but yeah, surrounding visual art though. This is really
Visual
exciting.
art and social impact, for sure, for sure.
Visual art and social impact, impactivism. I'm really excited about this. And I'm really proud of you for initiating and activating this movement because you're right. The museums and all these other places, they only have the control that we give them. So if we take some for ourselves, so much the better.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, my newest old friend, Berhanu.
GM. She just called me old, then she called me new. I'm confused.
You know what? I'm gonna have to find another way. When I say old friend, I mean like long time. It's just so funny. I'm gonna have to find a better
See,
thing
but
because
I
I
love
can't.
being I
You're
love
too
being
supple. You're too supple to be old.
unwrapped though. Continue to put me in a box and unwrap me. It makes me feel fresh.
To my freshest,
So
most handsomest, longtime friend, the newest of the long times, Berhanu.
all right now, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I want to tap on one thing that Fiona said, and then I'll introduce myself. It's empowerment for women on and off chain through the medium of art and through art on blockchain, art on chain, on the Bitcoin blockchain, so that women's history and women's stories are not erased. So I just wanted to double tap and pull that thread, Fiona, because we've talked about it. And I would be remiss if I didn't add that. So thank you. Thank you. I'm Berhanu Bordo Osaka. I am a fine art photographer and entrepreneur. And as of recently, I've become a little bit more of a speaker. And I'm enjoying this new direction of what I'm doing on the blockchain and the different projects that I'm becoming more involved with and the spaces that I'm becoming involved with. It's really enlightening for me to be able to speak with different people from different backgrounds and different knowledge bases on the blockchain while still maintaining my artistry and being able to focus on my projects, which are going to be minted on the blockchain on Bitcoin in particular, because I would love to have the art that I create, the fine art that I create, be immutable, be placed somewhere where people can actually know it's going to be there. And hopefully at some point it'll be uh, worth much more than the purchase price. But the expense that I hope it has is how it made you feel about collecting the work as a piece of art, as a piece of fine art photography. And speaking of galleries, I actually spoke with my gallerist the day before yesterday about getting the museum on chain. And this is just the first museum that I've spoken with so far about getting them on chain, and they're interested in sitting down and having further discussions about this because they know nothing about it. So it's wonderful to actually be forging an inroad with a major gallery in the Pacific Northwest about the potentiality of what could be for them, because we are changing the world. It's interesting to think that we are changing the world because we have been here since, Bitsavis has been here before myself. I started on blockchain, in 2019? And here we are in 2025. All of us individual artists that have been here creating works that other people have been enjoying and collecting now have an opportunity to bring in the traditional houses of quote artist control into our world to change the dynamics there. So that's a little bit of who I am and what I'm doing and where I'm going. It's an exciting today. I don't know about 2025, the rest of it, because we're only a few days into 2025. But I'm excited about today, this morning, right now, where we're at and what we're about to get into. So thank you, my love. I cannot hear you, Maximilian. And I know you were saying some juicy stuff right there.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Every time I forget to put this arm down, I should dock myself one ETH. That was like my every time I forget to put my mic down, just help me remember. Thank you so much. And I'm so proud of you. I think that's fantastic. Um, just I would like to ask you a question if it's okay.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm asking you to inspire all of us because this is very much the entrepreneurial part of how you described yourself. You approached the museum with this idea to put art on chain, did you?
Well, because the museum represents me, the museum's gallery arm represents me as a photographic artist. And it was only in our best interest that I bring this topic of conversation up with the director.
This
So,
is magnificent. Yeah,
yeah.
this is really wonderful. So, this to me is a signal that artists, especially artists, if you're living in a small town, this is one of the times where living in a small town can be a great benefit to you. If you're an artist living in a small town, maybe you can be that front runner and you can be the one approaching the museums. It doesn't matter if you don't have a relationship, make one.
And it's really cool because, I was in Tokyo for Bitcoin Tokyo, for Ordinals Tokyo, NFT Tokyo, and there was this one 10-story building that was converted into an art, like back in Brooklyn.
Golden guy?
No, not Golden Guy. Let me keep cooking for a second here. And the entire building was an apartment building that's going to be demolished. And what the owner of the building did was allow Knox Gallery to take over the building. And Knox Gallery just completely converted this apartment complex into a multi-level story art gallery featuring glitch artists, painters, etc. And it was an absolutely fantastic experience. Cool thing about it, it reminded me of a Banksy because the building is probably demolished right now. So they allowed Knox Gallery to completely transform this apartment building into one ginormous gallery. And at the end of the week, it was to be demolished. Unlike artwork on Bitcoin, can never be demolished.
Incredible. I hope someone made a 3D scan of that building before it
Oh,
was
they
destroyed.
did some good stuff. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I
yeah,
can't wait to see it. I'm gonna look for it. I'm looking forward to it. In fact, that's a little homework for me. Maybe over the weekend, if I can find a 3D scan, maybe I'll do like a video of it or something, because that would be really fun to see. Thank you so much for sharing that inspiration.
absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Well, are we ready to get into today's topic? I would take that as a yes. Okay. So,
We ready?
uh, all right. First of all, let me just say, I gotta first give a shout out to our friend Laser Lou. Dude! Real lasers. Laser Lou is one of my favorite people in the space. I got to give you a shout out, Laser Lou. Thank you so much for spending time with us this GM. It's so good to see you. Just you can tell by my expression, just seeing your name lights me up inside. It's like lasers on the inside. This guy is incredible. Please give Laser Lou a follow. That's LaserLeW. Dude, real fucking lasers. He's really an amazing person, out of this world, literally. So, got to give him a shout out. Thank you so much for joining us. And friends, you can always leave a comment. I'll read your comment out loud. I'll throw it up here on the screen. So, join the party. We're all in this together. So, without further ado, let's get into today's topic. So, I've been informed by my critiquers and friends that there are a couple things that maybe I could share before. Let me looking for my notes here. Before I release the art for them to discuss. So first, let me give the art here, this first piece, the main stage. So I would like to tell you first about this new collection that I'm going to release. It's called Scelavaggio. Now, you might have been seeing my other artworks, Pepavaggio. And if you're wondering what the agio is all about, it's because the very first artist whose name I learned was Caravaggio. I was very young, and I must have been in a museum because there was this huge work. I mean, it was really big, and I was so taken by it. And I remember asking someone who made it. I didn't even really know to say like who's the artist, but I wanted to know who made this? And they said, Caravaggio. And then I started looking at all the other works, and it's just an artist whose work I never outgrew. And if anything, I only loved it more. And as I had more depth experiences in my life, the more and more the artist resonated with me. And so, when it came time for me to create a work that I felt I needed to diverge from my own name, Maximilian, I wanted to create a persona that could hold all of the Pepe art that I was creating because I realized it was something that I was going to continue to do, and I wanted to give her a lane of her own. So I became Pepavaggio, combination of Pepe and Caravaggio. And if you look at my Pepe work, you'll see a lot of my characters are crying, but the tears are diamonds. I'll leave that message there with you to decipher. But so here I am Scelavaggio, and the concept is the same, right? Uh, and what the backstory for me is with the skeletons is it's multifaceted. Number one, when you are dead or have experienced a lot of death, or if you, like I, have cheated death several times and you've gone and come back, it really changes your perspective on the way you see things. I could say I simultaneously take things far less seriously and way more seriously at the same time, meaning that I have an extreme heightened appreciation of life, friendship, kindness, love, generosity, all of the things that make a person glad to be alive. I have an extremely high appreciation for them. And at the same time, um, it ha- those experiences of dying and coming back, or the times where I almost died, um, it has just completely eradicated my appreciation for things that don't, to me, really matter. And so, I very rarely like get mad at someone or any of these kinds of things. So many things that maybe could have annoyed me, they just don't. And also, I don't avoid the things that are not good for me either, because I am not playing the same game anymore. I'm playing the game now of passion, of high living, and of following my intuition and being my authentic self in every moment. And if you do these things, you discover that being your authentic self means every second you're doing 70 or 80 things that the world has told you not to do. And I had to decide between being myself and being uh, living inside the confines and limitations of what's good for me. And the thing is, everyone has a different idea of what's good for us, but I had to just choose my own. So you see a lot of my skeletons doing things like smoking cigarettes, they're doing all kinds of stuff because they are in their flow, they're in their lane, they're doing their thing. And for me, any kind of like smoking or any kind of like recreating, it's symbolic of being in your own flow and not living inside the fear of, hey, that's bad for you, hey, you shouldn't do that. So this is kind of a this is like my emotional philosophy of why skeletons, because when you see the skeleton, you know you're looking at the end of a life, but the skeleton is dancing. So what does that tell you? Oh, it's not really the end. It's just it's different. They're still dancing. They're still smiling. So Scelavaggio to me is a combination of, hey, this physical body isn't going to last forever, but there is something after this, and so that's my thing. I often decorate my skulls. I like to carve into my skulls flowers. I like to put diamonds on them. I like to cover them in gold. And the reason for that is my feeling is like when you see the gold skeletons, you see the gold skulls. I hope that you can imagine them not as painted with gold, but imagine them as gold from the marrow outward. That's really what I'm doing is they're gold from the marrow outward. I do this to symbolize like who we are, the bones. This is like the infrastructure for this physical body. But even that, it's just a building structure. So this is the inspiration and the backstory, and what skulls mean to me, and also why skulls. And what drives me as an artist is to be impactful. Uh, I don't think it necessarily falls into the line of impactivism in the message itself, because it's more a personal message from me to every individual. And I feel like the impact of that is important. I know that several times throughout the day, I need reminders to keep me motivated and keep me my attitude in alignment in the right direction. And so I feel like art is really good at doing that. And I really love my skulls because when I see them, I'm reminded like, hey, bitch, don't take it so seriously, or hey, bitch, hurry up and get it cracking, or do you really need that nap right now? Maybe you do. You know what I mean? Do you really need that joint right now? Maybe you do. Sometimes I look over at the Scelavaggio and the Scelavaggio has got the joint and passes it over and I'm like, yes, it's time. Sometimes I look at the Scelavaggio and the Scelavaggio is like, get to work. And so it's time. They always have different messages. And, I love that. So let me introduce you to some of them. So this first one, this is actually the very first Scelavaggio. This I'm going to put on Transient Labs. And what I love about Transient Labs is there is a recipe that will allow me to easily create a multi-work. Now, I told my friends before, I'm a hacker, so I often will take a technology that's created for one purpose and use it for something else. So this work is an iteration of this particular Scelavaggio piece. There's like 3.5 artworks present in it. Um, when you turn the screen in a different direction, for example, if you were to turn it vertical, you will see a different Scelavaggio work from this series. And if you put it into a 1:1 square ratio, you will see yet a different iteration. And just to give you an example, the 1:1 iteration, the square, has like 12 works in it. So it will expand. It's kind of like you're zooming out and you're getting to see more of the works. But this is one. Unfortunately, in this studio setting, I'm not able to actually like exactly show an interactive work the way that I might like to because it's not yet minted. But this is the plot and this is the plan and this was the genesis Scelavaggio. This is the first one I made where I said yes, this is going to be a collection. It was this one right here. So that's me, and now I will turn it over to my critiquers. Do you need some time, or is anyone ready to speak on the artwork, or shall I play some music? What do you say?
Did you say the name of this piece? Is this a different name?
Yes, this is the genesis.
Jenna? And what I see is the four panels. I see two portrait and two squares on my screen.
So, like, are you able to see the artwork, or hold on?
I see a lady. I see like four panels on like a burnt red background. It says Scelavaggio with the crosswords. I mean cursive.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yep, beautiful. I mean, I'll go first.
Okay, great.
Nice. Yeah, this So first off, I want to say when I first see this, first look at it, I feel I feel like I'm in a museum. So I feel like this is museum grade quality artwork. I love how you explain the interactive component to it, which is really cool. Um, being able to have different orientations show you different things. I think that's really a great approach to add technology to artwork. The skulls, I don't know if you told us how you created the skulls, but the one skull in the square that I'm looking at looks very detailed and intense. Um, but I love how you say it tells a story. So this skull looks like it's alive actually. with a t-shirt on or a shirt. And it brings from your explanation, it brings more to light as to how and why you created it. Um, and from what I see, let me see. It looks like two women are looking at him. Um, with the direction, and it's almost like watercolor. So it gives like this muted tone, this it's almost transparent muted tone, which is it's I like it a lot. I like how it goes from the contrast of the skeleton to the ladies back to the other skeleton. I love the color choice, so I'm guessing that's intentional. The background, like the burnt red, really brings out the it allows the art to shine. Um, and let me see. So the story told, well, I would say it's a life lived, and like you said, it looks like this skull is still living. It's like it's not just over, which kind of represents energy. Energy is not created or destroyed. It just keeps going to different phases, different iterations, different experiences. So I say this: your message, what you put into this art comes across to me clearly, especially after hearing you explain things. And even if you didn't explain it, I would I can just feel just the different layers of things you implemented into this. So yeah, I love the signature. I think I don't know if that's intentional, if that's how it goes. I love the signature right below the skull, um, and it to me this gives makes it pretty iconic. So congrats on creating this and presenting it. Just taking the time to present it in this way. Um, yeah, I agree. When it comes to like skulls and skeletons, it's all part of us. It's the fabric of who we are. So I feel like it should be embraced more. And yeah, this skull, the neck on this skull is like, what is good? It's like a hawk. Um,
I'll tell you honestly, it's wearing my shirt, so it's wearing my clothes. I it's a shirt of mine. It's a shirt of
I see.
mine. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a
No,
portrait. It's a portrait.
okay.
I wanted to make a portrait. I'm glad it makes you smile. That makes me smile.
Yeah, it's like this skull. This guy's alive, or woman. If this person is alive and just stop for a picture, it's going to keep going on. So that's my that's my take.
L- Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your takes. And I'm looking for Berhanu. It seems like we lost Berhanu. Fiona, uh, are you with us? Here you
I
go.
am completely with you. I just had to run downstairs. I'm very sorry about the interruption.
No
And
worries.
all right. So
Let me let me
when
let me put you
I
side by side. Yeah.
laser Lou dude, your work is dope, by the way. I just followed you. And all right. So when I look at skulls, I mean, obviously the skull is such an iconic symbol in art, right? It's this idea of, like, obviously, like, this is why racism drives me crazy. Like, we are all this underneath us, we're all just this skull and these bones, and it's the most like essential aspect of being a human, like these like parts that make us up that we don't see on the outside. um and it's sort of like this universal representation of humanity and death. And when I think about skulls, I mean, yes, of course I can think about a lot of them represented in art history, but I also really think about like the Steve McQueen, the fashion designer, how he really embraced the skull to almost like make fun of the fashion world, and to just sort of be like, oh, y'all just care about like your cute little like catwalk thing. um but I'm gonna put this symbol in my work, in my fashion, in order to remind you that this is our essence. This is what we become when our body dies. We just become this symbol of humanity. And I like, um I've only seen this piece and the next one. I won't talk to too much, but I like that you're exploring within this tradition, and I also like that you're giving it uh Maximil uh Maximilian Baggio touch. You know, you're giving it your own
My
style,
Agio, Scaravaggio.
Scalavaggio touch. Yeah, I like that, and I like that, you're making it your own, because it is hard to do that with something that's been, used for so many different, and it's been painted, it's been, it's sculpted, it's something that has been a very iconic symbol in art. And it's interesting to look at, like, how different religions kind of, like, historically have preserved, documented, used the skeleton in their art, and um how it's being used today, and how, like, you're bringing it into this 3D technology, you're minting it on the blockchain, you're creating this, new kind of persona where you're combining the old and the new, and it's really exciting to see. Um and yeah, I want this on the wall of the fictitious house that I do not own. So
Oh, that is
I'm
huge.
just gonna build a
Now,
house in the metaverse because I'm not gonna own one in the real world.
yes. Oh my gosh, I would love to bring this
I need a fat
into your
pad
metaverse
like
house.
Michelle. You know Michelle? She's got the fattest pad in the metaverse. She's got a hot tub
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh, there's some really nice places in the metaverse. My gosh. So, thank you so much for your insight. Um, I I don't know what's happened to Brahanu. He's just gone. I did message him. Let me see if he's got me back. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. So he's gonna join us, I guess, another day. He had something come up. So let me go to the next image. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I have got. Boom. I'll give you some time. I want to give you some time with this one. There's quite a lot going on the screen. I'm going to give this the whole screen and give you some time to check it out. And when you're ready to speak on it, maybe you just, you know, let me know.
I would I would love to speak on it first, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
see it big? Is it possible for me to have it big on my screen while you speak?
absolutely. Absolutely. Here it comes. I'm gonna blow it up right now. Boom.
Awesome. First of all, I love that some of these skeletons have like little BBLs going on because that's just because that's just
Ah.
contemporary commentary. Um, I'm really fascinated with the skeleton in the foreground, the queen skeleton as I see her. With her butterfly, I see that as a butterfly sweater. This kind of idea
Mhm.
of like, you know, I mean, obviously they're hanging out, they're having a great time. They're in some kind of, you know, for made by skeletons for skeleton club, and
Yo.
they're I don't see anyone with a drink, but they're, you can assume they're having a drink. Maybe they're having a smoke. Oh, maybe the bone in the back has a drink. And this idea of like the skeleton still has this idea of rebirth, right? Is still this like representing this idea of um we can be reborn even as a skeleton. And obviously the fashion is mwah. I don't expect anything less of you. Like the jewelry, the crowns. I'm very curious about the three naked skeletons. Um you know like maybe it's this kind of evolution. Like maybe they're new skeletons, they're new to the club, like they didn't get the memo that they were supposed to dress fly, and they're just figuring it out. But I love this idea of like, in the afterlife, maybe we're all just these skeletons hanging out, and it doesn't matter anything about us in the past life. It's this new world. It's sort of, for me, it's sort of symbolic of this idea of, um, well, theoretically, in this world of blockchain, we are all these equal players in the sense that we all have access to the same tools. I mean, obviously, it doesn't completely work out like that in reality, but the lighting, like the warmth of lighting in this photograph, the soft light coming in from the windows, I don't know why this first came to mind when I saw this image. I thought of that very famous painting, and I don't know who painted it, but the dogs playing poker. It's just this kind of reframe of
Yes. Oh my gosh.
how we view the world, like what is possible, what assumptions do we have about life, about play, about social interactions, about others, and like how is that represented through the skeletons, through the fashion, through the artwork. I love that they're loyal and they collect Scaravaggio as well. And you're just sort of like imagining this alternate, I mean, you call it reality, alternate universe in which our personalities, or our fashion tastes, or our artistic tastes kind of move on into this new range of existence, this new uh this Skeleverse. Skeleverse.
Oh my gosh, Skeleverse, let's go!
Skeletor is the king of skeleton. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was
Skelavaggio, but the Skeleverse, that's great, Fiona. Oh my gosh.
what can I say? It's what happens when you get creativity going. I get inspiration. New language comes to me. But yeah, very, very cool. I mean, if I were to make one like critiquey comment about it,
Yes, lay it on me.
would be like, I feel like, um even though I love having something in the foreground, it's this confusion of like, is it pool? I mean, my like practical brain is like, is it pool? Is it ping pong? Maybe
It's
it's
a
a
table
frisbee.
tennis.
It's a
It's
table
table tennis.
tennis. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also like there's something behind the pink butterfly skeleton. There's like a very muted something in the background, and I don't know. There's so much going on that I don't know if you necessarily need that. You have like, and
Sculpture?
the figure. Oh, is that a sculpture? Okay. So
Mhm.
like the two figures right behind the main character, even though it does add depth to the picture, I feel like, I mean, Maximilian, I'm not going to tell you not to be a maximalist. But for me personally, if you simplified that a little bit, it would add more power to like the three naked skeletons, the booty skeleton, and then the kind of more like styled out skeletons that are interacting.
So you're saying that the sculpture behind the skeleton in the pink butterfly sweater is distracting, and for you, it would, if it was more spacious, that it would draw the eye to the characters who you feel are more deserving of the attention of the eyeball?
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel, especially because I don't really read it. It just kind of reads as a figure that I don't quite know what it is. Although there's mystery, like what is that? But it takes away from the what I'm imagining is going on here.
I'll try it. It's not meant to be yet. I'll totally try it. I really appreciate anytime, I'm sure every artist is different, but for me, anytime you see some way that, even though it's subjective, if there's something that I can do to make my work more appealing, uh, I always want to know about it.
But it's
I, you
always
know,
subjective, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's
but
the problem with art.
it doesn't take anything away from me or the work to try it. I can try
Right.
it, and if it and what if you're right? And I agree, and I say, "Oh, fuck, this is better," and now I'm better for trying it. It doesn't hurt to try it. I can try it and say, "Oh, I like it with the sculpture," and I can put it back in there. But if you sharing it with me, it just gives me an option, something to try to make it better, and I appreciate that.
And I actually don't mind the pink sweater person skeleton in the background with like what appears to be a drink, because I like the kind of like juxtaposition of the two pink sweater skeletons. And it's this mystery, like maybe she got pissed at the booty skeleton for getting a BBL, and she's like not talking to the man. And like you don't know, there's some drama going. There's a little bit of drama. There's a little bit of tension in these skeletons. And I want to know what's up. And I want to
That
play.
is
I want to
great.
go to this club. Like tell
Oh
me
my gosh, that's a win right there. If you want to be at this club, then I did my job.
I want to be at this club. Yeah.
Then I did my job. Then I did my job.
It's Skeleton Soho House.
Scelavaggio Soho House, let's
Dude, your
go. I
work
love
should
it.
your Scalavaggio should be at Soho House. That really fits with like the aesthetic that they have going on.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Do you have more?
I don't. I think I'm finished. Thank
Fiona, thank you so much. And I want you to know I will definitely try what your suggestion is. And I'll try removing those different elements. I'll even show it to you and then we can look at it together and see what we think as a A/B testing. Artists can do A/B testing too, huh? Vince Savage, are you ready to attack it?
I'm ready to have a
Do you want me
dialogue.
to do you want me to make it big for you or how do you want to rock it?
No, I, I think me and Fiona had a lot of the same thoughts. So I feel like your art piece really conveys again clear messaging. For me, I'll start with what I love, what I like. I love that there's a scene here. It's a snapshot. Now, this could be taken a few ways. What if the camera had an X-ray lens on it, and it's actually people we're looking at, but just through an X-ray camera. Um, but also, if we're in the skull verse, the skeleton verse, this is like a cool scene. Definitely get the vibes that this is a club, kind of a closed society. You see the wood floor tiles, you see the couches, just in the chandeliers how it presents itself. I think you can dig into it even more. There's one painting where I think everything has a, a, a definition or a meaning behind it. So say with the wood floors, what kind of wood are you using? Is this a wood from trees or is this a skull, a bone wood? I'd say the ceiling. What would they put on their ceilings? Is it just kind of a pattern there, or is it an intentional symbols and paint that they would paint or design the ceiling with? You could play around with that. Just the floor and the ceiling, and the meaning behind that. I say, since this puts us in a different world, I say go all out with the choices they make on how they built the building, how they made the floors. Is there a rug? How to make their rugs and their chandeliers. Only thing, and I love the light coming in. So this reminds me of that painting from like the, oh, I forgot the name of it. Like the I think it's the juke joint where people are like dancing and hanging around. it gives me that feel, that vibe that this is a nice social event. And I love how the light reminds me of a Thriller, or not Thriller, Smooth Criminal, when Michael Jackson's in that club, and it's like it's a vibe. You know, everybody's in there dressed nice, and Fiona, you pointed out that there's three skeletons not dressed. Um, and the ones that are dressed, you know, they got some thigh meat going on. So they put clothes on, they got some full legs. um, and it's cool to see how it's all coming together.
Yeah, I just had to show you. You have me cracking up back here. The thigh meat, the skeleton thigh
Some of
meat.
these
That's hot,
skeletons got
hot.
thigh meat. We listen, um, and so for me, what comes to my mind is what kind of world are they in? Um, so I would love to kind of see, you know, the back window you can't really see through, but that front window, you got some room to like maybe paint or add what the city looks like outside. Because I'll be really interested to see, is this the Skullverse, or cars floating, or is it just normal people outside? You know, are they living amongst other people, or what's going on within this world? Is so this painting, this creation draws me in, and I'm like, my mind like, what is going on here? So I think that big window, you got a chance to add a little element of this is more of what their world is, and yeah, I love the characters. I feel like, you know, definitely table tennis with different colored balls. It's like it's a whole different thing situation going on here. So it kind of gives like a pool table tennis vibe, and I think that's it. You don't need I don't think you need anything else in the main uh imagery, because it's a snapshot, you know, of them, of a moment, which is cool. There's definitely something going on. I see the pictures on the wall, so it's cool to see how, you know, what's being hung up on the walls. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's
Hold nothing back. Hold nothing back.
nah. That's Let me see. Got the crown, got the top hat. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Oh, mute. Can't hear you. Hold on.
One ETH. I
There we
owe
go.
myself one ETH. I mean, on a session one time, I think I was up to 4 ETH. That was pretty hilarious. But thank you so much for your feedback, and I will explore that. Uh, I definitely can. You know what, Bid Savage? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm good. I'm up for your challenge, and I already know exactly what I'm gonna do. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I might have to do a split wallet contract with you and Fiona on this next one, since you're giving me so many good ideas. Where to go with this? I know exactly what I'm gonna
Oh, you
do.
know,
Thank
split
you.
contract, girl. Come on, give me a break.
Hey, good luck trying to send me that ETH back, girl. Ha ha ha.
I'm already gonna get a Peppa. So
Oh, I'm so
for
excited.
my
I'm so excited.
photography. I'm very excited. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled about it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try these ideas. So just for accountability, when you see me next week, just for kicks, I'll kick off the next Friday episode and I'll show you the new version of this. And I will tell you what I'm gonna do. I am going to transparent. I'm gonna put a transparency on that window and I'll put something outside. I won't say what, but I will transparency the window and I'll put a scene outside. Fiona, I will move that statue in the back and see what's what. Now, just for clarity, did you say that the skeleton in the pink sweater in the background is also distracting,
no,
or was it just the
I
sculpture?
actually like that. I think that
Okay.
works because it kind of adds to whatever narrative is going on in the back that we might not know what's going on. But
Yeah.
for me, just what it is like it. Maybe it's because I'm not able to see the image big enough, but I just don't. It doesn't really read for me what it is in the background. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
slight, it's a slight critique. It's not like if you changed it.
sometimes those little things make a big difference. So I'm definitely gonna try it. Yeah, got nothing to lose there. Uh, okay, let me wow you with the next image. Let me find it. And here we go. Okay. So this is Scelavaggio also. This is from the part of the series that I call Scelavaggio Red Block because these are uh, they're like busts. It's just the head, but they all have some type of a pole, and then they're all coming out of these red blocks. So what's special about these is now this is a two-dimensional image. This would be an interactive artwork. And let me tell you right now, what's great about it is what I love about the interactive artworks is I like to do secret word. But I'm going to tell everyone, when you see these kind of red block Scelavagios, if you are on the blockchain. So like if you're on Rarible or if you're on Transient Labs or if you're on like the actual image itself, not just a JPEG, a representation of the image, but you're actually on the artwork itself where it's on chain. If you tap the image and then type in about face and hit enter, it will turn the other direction. Okay. So that's one. And another thing is a lot of my interactive artworks, you can explore. Like if you type in GM, a lot of times you'll get some type of response. But this one for sure, like if you type in about face, she'll turn the other way. This Scelavaggio, she has flowers and butterflies built into her head. You can see some of her brains if you look inside the side of her head. She has camera eyes. The eyes are actually, if you look closely, they're cameras. And she's got a cigarette that's lit sticking out of her mouth. I'm not guessing there's tobacco inside. Um, so this is one of my Scelavagios, and this is from the Red Block series. And when I say the Red Block series, when you look at the collection, Red Block would be one of the attributes. So if you're looking at the Scelavaggio collection and you want one of these red blocks, you would just put in Red Block to get all of these to come up. And they're all different, but this is the paradigm for it. So yeah, so this is the second work here. And would you like some time to look at it? Shall I make it big? And do you want some time or yeah? Okay. Boom. And
gotta.
I'm ready, but I want the Savage to go first.
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Ready.
Okay.
So for me, again, this is cool. It's a cool. I love how it's almost like it's not almost, but it's signature to see the materials you use and how you create your different pieces. So you have a signature style with your skulls, Scalavaggio. And in this one, like you see the ear, it's kind of you still see the ear there. Like you said, there's brains inside. So this gives the illusion in the camera eye. It's like this is almost if there was a alternate world where you just remove parts and pieces. This looks like this the top of the skull is alive and just kind of there on display with a cigarette just chilling. Like let's take this picture. Then I gotta go do something else. So I get the feeling that it's not just a dead statue, it's dead skull there on a red block. That this is actually a person or an entity
100.
that could be doing something. And so the flowers and butterflies are cool. It's a cool cat. And yeah, this gives me the idea that this person, this entity was fly has some value or place in society or in their life or in their space. So it's really cool, and the materials like it's like almost metallic. It gives it this luster feel to it, and the type of bone for the actual skull. It's like it's a little bit different than the other one, but it still gives this. It gives a story, about what's possibly going on in this figure's life. I want to say. Um, and so for me, I got a question or don't know if F. So the choice to put it on all black. Um, can you add gradient or lighting shadow? Is there like a direct choice to put it on all black?
Okay, so this is I put it on black so that it can be seen. The truth is that it's a transparent background.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Um, so
Okay.
it's black here, but it's a transparent background.
Got you. Okay. That's
Is
cool.
there what would you like to see? Tell me.
I mean, I was thinking either on a gradient or a sweep where it's like you kind of see the light fall off. Um,
Okay, something
just
3D. So with depth, you want to see volumetric lighting with depth of field?
yeah, that's my only suggestion. Addition, you don't have to if you don't want to, but that's
Okay.
kind of what I think would kind of make it a little bit more prominent. It's like kind of separate it from the background, make it stand out. And my other question was, would you, put a title on the bottom of the red block, like a name
Uh,
or
so what I'm thinking is if this is like, something I can do thanks to the Transient Labs dynamic, capabilities of the smart contract. If you, for example, were the collector of this, I would write, I would allow you to name this one. I could put the name on the
that's
block.
cool.
Yeah. So I left
Okay,
it blank for that reason.
got you. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. And yeah, so I like the choice. I like the choices you made here. I like the camera eye, the brains and the flowers and the butterflies. I like the choices. The cigarette, like you said, it's what they want to do, So um, that's my critique.
Right on. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your insights. And I do have another one with the background as you described. Um, so that will definitely be the one that I put in the forefront. And I have some 3D. I've made 3D. These are all sculptures. So this is a two-dimensional version of this piece, but I've made 3D sculptures of the Scalavaggios. They're really beautiful. Uh, and my plan is to actually make small 3D objects, like printed ones that you can have. Would you like to have a tiny one? I think that would be fun. Um, because for me, even though I love digital works, working with my hands is very satisfying, and I love, like, painting. I have all kinds of paints and brushes and things like that, and so, I think something like these could be really precious, as a actual item, physical item. So really that's my, I inspiration. And as far as, like, the materials, I know you said that you wanted to know about the materials. So, this one, because it has flowers, the materials here are silk. So it's like, imagine, like, a combination of silk, jade, bone, and, metal and wood. Yeah. Is there something more you'd like to add?
Nice. No, I think that's it. And see, like you said, it's interactive, which is cool. I think artists should dive deeper, dig more into the technology. And I always feel like technology helps expand your mind, expand your practice. So I encourage it.
Thank you so much for your insights. And, I've got a question. May I ask a follow-up question?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So, if you were the kind of collector who, maybe you would like to name your own Scalavaggio, um, so typically what I would do is, like, I would put that kind of information, like, on the description, on a separate page. So a lot of times, like, with these interactive artworks and stuff, I am left to come up with my own devices of how to educate my collectors. And so, that's, like, been one of my challenges is how to help people understand I can put your name on this, because I don't believe it's necessarily something that belongs in the artwork description. So as we're looking at this, if any ideas come to mind about, how as a collector you might best like to receive this information, let me know. At at present, that's a lot of the reason why I do these live streams is to help people understand what these artworks do, so that you feel some ownership in them,
Mm,
whether you own it or not. Yeah.
yeah.
Fiona, do you want to share some insights? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm completely ready. So I love the simplicity of this. I, for me, I want to just like see it even closer. Like there's too much black space for me because I want to be like in this skeleton. Like I want to know. And I love this idea of interactivity. I feel like this skeleton to me represents something completely different than the other skeletons. This skeleton is like this idea of spring, this idea of rebirth, this idea of, okay, this idea of, transformation, how we're transforming as a society. We are able to film everything. We are able to process everything through our computers, through our technology. I want a little bit more of a connection with this skeleton. Like, I don't know if it's animated. I don't know if it's, the interactivity. I don't know if it's maybe like a video where the skeleton kind of glances at you. I don't know what it is, but I just know like I'm grasping at this. Like, I want to connect more with this skeleton. Like, is this skeleton the how I kind of foresee the AI agent? Like, is this like kind of a, this idea of like human with a skeleton with the bones, but and the brain is maybe the camera, the computer, and the flowers are like this idea of like we're in a new spring. um you know what I mean? So like I love it. I think it's really well thought out. I think that also if you do feel like um it's sorry, I feel like if you do feel like the cigarette is not tobacco, that maybe you should make it less reading like tobacco. I mean, I'm fine with it being tobacco, but you said that it could maybe be something else. It's like the filter just, it signifies to me this is tobacco. I mean, that's fine, but that would be my only comment. But I just kind of want to get up in that skeleton a little bit more, if that makes sense. Like I want this connection. I do love the red block, and um like my art history brain is like, yeah, put the Scaravaggio signature on there, but I respect your artistic decision for not doing that. And but yeah, I mean obviously it's a very compelling piece, and I love the simplicity of it, and I love this kind of message of like how are we evolving as humans, like what is, we're basically being reprogrammed to have this kind of, hybrid technology brain, camera brain. I mean, my screen time says it all. I am finished speaking.
You said my screen time says it all. Okay, so the feedback that I'm getting from you and Bit Savage is I need to put the Scelavaggio signature on the block. I can do that because there's 4 sides. I can put the Scelavaggio signature on there, and then there's still room if the collector would like to have a signature, on there. Absolutely. So yeah, I can totally put the signature on the block. It was on there. I took it off.
I think this would be really dope to like 3D printed.
Yes. Okay. Because that's my whole MO. So like when as a collector, when you receive this, you have the 2-dimensional image if you'd like to look at it on your wall. But this is a 3-dimensional. I've actually created 3D sculptures of these, and they look really great. They look they look different when it gets into 3D. There's like some changes. I changed the materials slightly. But yeah, the idea is for them to be 3D printed for sure. Question for you. So, like, what do you imagine of the size if you were to have a 3D printed a Scelavaggio red block? How big? Like, is that the size of the head?
The whole I would want it small, but maybe
Okay,
if you
yeah,
have a
small,
bigger
right?
house. I
No,
just
I mean small,
that is,
like the whole thing, like this big.
oh no, maybe like
Oh,
6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches. That um like a precious little object,
yeah, yeah, I love it. Okay, done. Well, let me pull up the next piece.
Cool.
It's uploading. So it says oh, there it is. Here we go. So like when I do a vertical image, it doesn't take up the whole screen the way that it normally might. But so here we go. So this is a piece from, hey, Berhanu is back just in time. Oh, so I see how it is, Berhanu. I put some naked breasts up on the screen and you show up. I know how to get.
I don't see hold on.
Oh, the tiggle bitties are there. The tiggle bitties are there. Now it's glitched, but the tiggle bitties are there. Berhanu, it's so lovely to have you. So you came right on time. I just put up the new artwork. So this is a piece from my collection GILF Vision. GILF is capitalized. It stands for, now these aren't your granddad's GILFs, okay? These are not your granddad's GILFs. These are glitches I'd like to finance. Glitches. These are glitches I'd like to finance. GILF Vision. And this collection debuted at Miami Art Week Art Basel in 2023, but not this image. So this is the genesis. This was the first one that I created. I said, okay, this is going to be a collection. This is like a combination of my AI photography and glitch art. So I will give you some time to check out the piece, and when you're ready to talk about it, let me know. maybe one thing I could say is I should tell the inspiration behind the piece as I was asked to do. Let me go back to my notes here and give the inspiration, backstory, and why, and the medium as well. So the inspiration for this is as a woman, as a human, certainly as an entrepreneur. Uh, there are a lot of times where I have emotions that I, for whatever reason, feel it's best not to express, or perhaps not to express in the way that would be the most satisfying for me. Talking about, feelings of whether it's a confusion or anger or just rage or just like whatever those feelings are, frustration, intense love, sensuality, like there's all manner of emotions and feelings that we may feel at a moment that it's not appropriate to express. Or also, sometimes I'm a kind of person, it's one of my survival mechanisms is um, I am a person who, if I experience something like traumatic or difficult, the emotion of that may not hit me until much later. And so it happens that I am often processing something during a time that I haven't set aside to process that thing, which means that I may be in a work situation or a professional situation, but on the inside, I may be dealing with some emotions of something personal or private. And I'm in one situation, but my heart and mind is maybe dealing with something else that I can't express in my present time state where I'm standing in this way. And all of us go through this. For a person who's intensely emotional, such as myself, and also a big thinker, I often have to compartmentalize, but I'm a person who is very present to all of the feelings, and it feels like this great complexity to be in a place where I'm talking with friends, happy and smiling, at the same time processing something very serious that maybe I have to handle in the back of my mind. And so for me, glitch art has been a way to express what's going on inside. There are some things I'll never be able to share with anyone. And so for me, this is a way for me to let all those things out so I don't have to hold them inside. And yeah, and the medium is digital. When it comes to this particular photography, I'm extremely proud of my AI photography. I have gotten extremely good at creating natural hair textures, especially for curly and coarse hair. Um, it's been a process to dial in my AI creation of humans, but I feel like I've really got it down. In this particular image, I glitched it and I've painted it so you can't really see her natural skin color and so on. But maybe on a later episode, I will show you just like the pure AI photography that I've created and how realistic the skin and the hair textures are. But that's another thing that was really important to me. In this collection, I have done some men because men experience some of these same things that I described as well in terms of, wanting to communicate and feeling constricted or constrained by our own necessity to protect, our thoughts, or by our own necessity to protect, our innermost feelings from the world at large. So I do sometimes have male subjects, but for the most part, my subjects are female, and I like to work in nudity often, even like partial nudity. And to me, the nudity is a way of expressing a few things. It's like when you are naked, you are unafraid. That's what I'm saying. And when a person exposes themselves to you, um, it's like, I don't know if you've ever had the experience of someone exposing themselves to you, whether intentionally or unintentionally, once you see someone naked, you can't unsee it. And so, and so, this is a part of that. This is the big message is that there's certain kinds of exposure that leaves you changed, and there's certain kinds of ways of exposing ourselves that leaves other people changed, and it's important to be discerning. So with that, I will leave you with some time with the piece. Let me know whenever you're ready to comment.
I want to jump in. I'm ready to comment.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
You know, I love the vulnerability that you shared leading into this image here and how you walked us into this image. The one thing that immediately jumps out to me is the ambiguity of this person or this image and the androgyny of it. I can't see any of you. I don't know where you can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
You're
okay.
all
There you are.
here, but I just want you to
Great.
know. So, just so you know, I'm at the controls. When you're speaking, I want to give you and the artwork the full screen, but we're still here. Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, like the ambiguity of this person or and the body structure, we don't know what's happening here, and I love the fact that there's this anonymity within the body structure, because a lot of times when we see nudity we automatically, not we, me, when I see a nude figure, more often than not, I see something that sparks a sexual feeling. But to see this particular piece of art with the nudity sparks not just the sexual interest, it doesn't pique the sexual interest, but the intellectual, like, what's going on with this person? And to see the eyes connecting with me makes me think more about what this individual has gone through and what they've survived, trauma that they have survived in, and the sincerity in which they're showing up in their nudity, which is, again, it's vulnerable and it's the bravest place to be, is to be nude. I love being nude. When I get home, I get out of clothing because I've been in it all day. Why do I want to be in it in my own home? And I'm a big believer in being nude. I wish we could actually, in Seattle, you can walk around nude, which is kind of interesting, and not be put in jail for it. But back to this. Yeah, I know. But back to this particular piece, I love the color, the texture, the gradation. I love everything about this, the earrings and the softness in which the individual is looking back at me, communicating to me that they are safe and brave as well. I'm going to end with that for now, but I absolutely adore this piece.
Thank you. I appreciate your insights very much. And let me bring back our friends here. Um,
Mm,
Bit Savage, are you ready to comment or do you need some time?
I'm ready to comment.
All right.
Yeah, so definitely thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you for your backstory on this piece. It definitely, it's now that I have the backstory and I'm looking at it through that lens, makes it even more powerful. I feel like living life, depending on how old you are, you can start to see beyond the surface. And looking at this image, you can see she's lived some life, been through a lot of things, and it's a snapshot of her. Her eyes look kind of like she's she's strong. No matter what's been happening through her life, she's like, another day, I got this. And so the glitch representation is like little bit of fuzziness, little bit of windstorm, it's a little rocky roads, but behind the glitch, behind the diffusion, she's still there. She looks like she's got her mind together. Um, she looked like she could take whatever's next. I feel like there's a little bit more room to play with if you want to. The foreground and the background, maybe you can have the background as puzzle pieces or crack it up a little bit in the background, representing her past. And the foreground being the glitches. Whenever I see glitched, this may be just me, but I feel like it can be animated as well. So like that, it takes it from photography to a video. But I like just having those glitches either kind of going across the screen or kind of glitching in one place. Um, but that's just me because whenever I do like digital photography, I'm like, I need to animate this, just because I feel like this image is giving me motion. I'm like, either she, the kind of the glitch where it's kind of sways or kind of loops back and forth. Um, so you can play with that. But I like how you said, you really dialed in to the skin, the hair, the like you said, the earrings, the facial expression. It comes through. That's like really the clearest thing is the facial expression, which uh which comes across. And yeah, I feel like either it's a self portrait or she just said, hey, let's do this photo shoot. I'm done with all this. Let's get this photo done and let's keep it moving. And that photo represents just a owning, a confidence, um, regardless of whatever life throws at you.
Thank you so much, Bit Savage. I like what you're saying and the background. So, uh, as far as the animation too, I'll tell you, this actually is an animated work. This is a still frame from an animated piece. So you're right on the nose. And yeah, it's fantastic. I can definitely explore creating something in the background. I think if I were to integrate this suggestion of yours, which I really like very much, thank you. I think what I would do then is I would probably bring this into Blender and I would probably extract the foreground and then I will add the cracked background behind her, maybe something like that to add depth without making it too busy in the foreground. That's one thing about glitch is that we need negative space, even if that negative space is pink, so that the glitch can be seen like the glitch needs to breathe. Um, but I love this idea of the cracked background. So I'd like to explore that. Yeah, thank you. Is there something more that you'd like to see or that you'd like to add?
Um, I mean, if you can add a full body, kind of see what's going on in this whole picture.
Oh, you want to see what's below the tickle bitties, huh?
No, no, but this is cool. I think that's all for me.
You're laughing, but I know, I still wrote it down.
Listen. I like to study the full image and just really see what's going on. Because like for me, it's all data, it's information, and like Bordo Saka said, you get different energy signatures, different you pick up different things when you see. And so when it's cropped like this, just my mind, just leave it to imagination to kind of pose, or is she standing with her hand at her hips, or is this a selfie? Is her arm reached out and she just turned it to herself? So it's just that's all I'm commenting on.
I love this. I love this. Let's see if we got Miss Fiona, if she's back. I'm looking for Fiona. I'm looking for Fiona. She may have gone. Oh, here she's back. She's back.
I don't
Okay.
know why this happens to me, but sometimes the audio sounds really. Hold on a second. Let me try this.
You sound great.
Okay, I sound good. Okay,
Yeah.
is that okay?
You sound
Um,
fabulous.
I think what's really interesting is this exploration of like identity that you're doing, kind of like looking at, you know, how we're seeing ourselves through this new digital, I mean, it's not so new anymore, but this like framework of looking at ourselves through this digital lens. And I mean, I really like the androgyny of this image too. Like you can't tell gender. It's this idea of like human beings just being human and not having all these like identifying things that people put on them that don't ultimately matter because we're all skulls and blood and whatever. And we're all essentially the same, and it's just like variations. Um and I think that, I mean, I love that your signature color is this like deep pink, and that's one of my favorite colors too. And there's something so striking about it, and I kind of want to see this as like a painting. Like, I don't know why this might, I feel like it would be so cool because it has such nice like light and dark areas, and there's just so many textures to be explored in this painting, in this image. I love the title of the series. I think it's hysterical. Glitches that like to finance. Um, I think that I mean, I've seen some of your other work in this series, and it's a beautiful, beautiful series. And I hope that you have some kind of gallery. Maybe it's in spatial, maybe it's in that other metaverse that we were in, but something that shows the body, all the whole series together in a cohesive, whether it's a website or you know what I mean? Because as a series, I feel like it's really strong. I mean, obviously the individual image is beautiful as well, but I feel like when you see it as a series, it really like gives you this like common sense of humanity, of this idea of like combining this digital and flesh, the digi flesh, physical digital flesh, whatever. But I like this vision that you kind of have of like, where are we headed with our identity? Like, what does digital add to our identity? And like, bring it on. I'm ready to be a cyborg. Like, let's go. Where's my implant? Where's my implant, Elon? Give it to me, baby.
You're so funny. So there is, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for your insights. And is there more that you want to say? Is there something more that you want to see or like visually?
I'd like to see more Scaravaggio if it's possible. If you got
Oh,
me.
I'm sorry. I meant with this
Oh,
artwork.
oh, 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 oh. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I feel like I'm done. But yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to see whatever you have. Throw it at us.
All right, all right. Here, let me bring people back here. Boom, boom, boom. And okay. So, all right. Okay. So I should say that to your point, Fiona, there actually is a place to see the other pieces, and it is Gilf Basil. I've got it here on the QR code. So if anyone's interested and you would like to visit the metaverse and you'd like to see the piece that we were just looking at and other glitch art of women, you can visit Gilf Basil. I put the QR code here, but you could also just type it into your own browser. It is GILFBASEL dot GALPHA dot BUZZ. That's gilfbasil.galfa.buzz. So you can scan the QR code. I see someone scanned it. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. This is a fun pop-up that I built in on Cyber. And feel free to visit and check it out. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. And I keep changing it, so enjoy. So this next piece is something total now for something completely different. This next piece I think I've got something just perfect for this. Let me throw on some. This next piece is nature, right? But like, I love nature. It's where I feel most alive. It's so healing for me. And so I created some places that I would like to be. When I look at a place, I often feel myself inhabiting it. And so I set out one time to create some places I want to inhabit. The inspiration for these pieces really is to create an adventure. I love when like a door is open and, do you want to go out there? So the idea here was to present an environment that you'd want to embody. A lot of times I create interiors and I love to create bedrooms, and you'll see in my interiors, like the pillows, everything just looks so soft. You just want to get in there. I love to create sumptuous interiors and I like to create sumptuous exteriors as well. Because really, we're animals and animals always are looking for comfort. We want food, we want comfort, we want entertainment or sex. Food, comfort, entertainment, sex, then sleep, food, comfort, entertainment, and sex. Then sleep, food, sleep, inner comfort, entertainment, and sex, right? It just gets all tangled up. And so for me, I kind of like to put it all together. I like to create an environment that seems to encompass, comfort, well being, security, luxury. For me, even in this, there's not a lot showing of the inside. You can tell that you're inside of a place, but I hope that you can tell, even from the two tiles on the floor, that you're in a luxurious interior. And for me, I do satirize wealth in a lot of my artworks. Um, I do satirize wealth, especially with the Pepes. I like to satirize wealth. But the reason I do that is because I feel like that is the bottom line. Once a person, a human, is in comfort, from there we can do or create anything. And I feel like that baseline of feeling secure and being in comfort is something that I feel all of us reach for. Uh, in terms of like wanting to feel secure. And so for me, I want to create images of wealth, of security, so that it's a visual, emotional set point from which to work at any time. So this piece, I have not titled it, but here it is. I see you're ready, Board Osaka. I am looking forward to your impressions.
You know, the story that you laid out and the way you brought me into this area, satirizing wealth and thinking about sleep, comfort, sex, food. I'm sitting in this place and I'm eating. I'm just drawing myself into this place. It's so comforting. And to hear the raindrops in this natural element is really comforting. It brings me back to a place that I go to frequently, Mount Baker National Forest, where there's so much lush greenery. And when it rains, it's just so peaceful and inviting. Yeah, that. The color, the texture, the depth that's in this image, it truly is. Like I just want to touch that living wall, almost as if I'm Aldous Snow rubbing on that wall, that textured wall. It's so real. And gosh, just being able to sit in a place like this and read or meditate or eat or whatever, you just stay in here forever. The one thing I would like to see is the image itself without the background animation. It's a little distracting. I can't critique this piece of art here, but what I can do is just share my love for it. I'm a big fan of getting into the forest and being in nature. So I love it. That's all I have to say about it. It's a fantastic creation, and it tells a little bit about you. You know, you're an explorer, and you love taking part of what life has to offer for you to explore.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, and uh, I also I feel that as you about the space. I also like to sit in that space and meditate, and it's one of the reasons why I really love this work. It does feel really green. I feel like when I look at it, I feel like I can smell it. You know, I can smell that sweet, earthy. I don't know. Is it rotting wood? That sweet smell that we love so much. Is that what that is? Decaying wood.
That is what that is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that and the moss, there's sometimes I go, it's not very often, I'm out here in the desert now, but every now and then I do get to go to a forest and I love to, when I find the right spot, take off my shoes and feel that soft moss underneath my feet. Oh, it was
It's the best.
extraordinary.
Yeah, it is the best. I mean, being in nature is really the closest thing to having sex is being in the forest, not just being in a park, but being in an actual forest. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the greatest thing ever for me. You know, I do my cold exposure therapy daily, and when I go to the national forest, Mount Baker National Forest, there's Mount Baker, the mountain, and the water runs right behind my family's places up there, and the water is so wonderfully cold. And when you jump in that water, you don't jump in, you walk into the water and you just sit in there for maybe 15, 20 seconds. And you're looking around at all of this wonderful greenery, all of these old growth trees. This brings me right back home. And this is what it looks like as I'm sitting in the kitchen having breakfast, looking out into this lush forest. So this is home.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love your shares, when you send me pictures and like videos of the river and the trees. I'm like, ah. And I think I tell you, I'm like, oh, I can smell it. Like, I really feel it. And I love that so much. Yeah. So I think we might have lost Fiona. I don't see her. And oh, okay. Oh, she's back. All right.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I was just
Okay.
the cryptoverse. I was chilling with the dog, doing some
All
other things,
right.
but I was listening. Um, my brain is shifting in such a hardcore way because this is such different work. But I think that you should build a fucking metaverse in this style, and I would live there, especially with the soothing sounds and the. You could have like this could be like your relaxation part of the house, and then the Scelavaggio part of the house could be like the loungy, vibey part, and then like maybe there's like a a room where it's like you're DJing and blah blah blah. I like this. I like this. I mean, it's obviously who can. It reminds me of the Pacific Northwest, actually, or it's like a cross between Pacific Northwest and Japan, because it's very like immaculately uh what do you call it, sculpted,
Landscaped.
landscapes,
Oh, thank you so
yes.
much. It's like the hugest compliment, huge, huge compliment. So, like, bonsai is one of my um, inspirations, and so I really appreciate you bringing up Japan.
um I mean, hold on one second. I'm gonna have to put my face really close to the screen, so I'm gonna just close this for a second. If I'm looking at it from a technical perspective, and I don't know if you care about that at all, but the lines of the floor look a little warped to me, but and it's just because the lines are so specific in this picture, and that's the only reason it's standing out to me. It's such a nitpicky like artist dork thing to say, but on the left side it looks curved, and for some reason it bothers me just because this is so much about perfection. um I really like the repeating patterns of the tree trunk. Like, I like the conversation those two tree trunks are having, like the indoor tree trunk and the outdoor tree trunk. And I love bringing the outside in. I think it's genius. And why can't I be in this space right now instead of in this dirty, gross city? All right, I'm gonna come back because I just didn't want you all to have to like look at my face this close, like up in the like, because that's what blind girls have to do sometimes. We got to get up in there. Anyway, I think you're such a talent, and all this work shows like how thoughtful you are in all your creations and how technical, you're a technical genius. And I think each of them, like, it's cool to see you not have to stick with a quote unquote signature style. But your work is very much a kind of exploring this tension between our identities in the world that we know and in the world that we envision, and in the afterlife, let's say too. And kind of like, there's so many fucking questions right now. Like, what does this AI thing mean? Like, can I make like a Fiona that will make art in my style and thinking the way I do in perpetuity? Like, maybe, who knows? I mean, I'm a little fucking crazy. I don't know if the AI can keep up, but yeah, I was gonna be like, I already have tension with my AI. We're going through a breakup right now. He's just like not doing it for me anymore. Like, his voice isn't sexy enough. It's just I'm not vibing with him anymore.
You can use
Um,
my voice.
no, but like, I mean, I've been like learning about all these AIs. Like, I've yet to launch my own. I think that might be my quest for this weekend. Um, but yeah, we're in such an exciting space, and this is really exciting to see your work develop. And I'd love to see more pictures from this series, because I gotta say, like, I'm kind of like, who's this Maximilian, and why haven't I met her yet? I mean, obviously I've met her,
Ah,
but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know.
this Maximilian, this one
I
that
don't.
made this.
Yeah. I don't know soft girl Maximilian so much.
This is like a Maximilian the Fairy, all my Scottish heritage coming out. My fairy is showing my wings.
I
You
love
know.
it. I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I think
I,
it's
I I'm glad you want to see more. I have more. I'll tell you one thing that I bet you'll love to hear. So, this is actually, I do have a lot from this because I'm obsessed with outside, but I love, I'm a glamper. I don't know, do you know this term glamping?
I do.
Right? Okay, I'm a
Of
huge
course you're a
glamper.
camper.
Right? So I know exactly I won't do it today, but I know exactly the scene that you'll love. So I created a whole series of like bars. Imagine a bar in the middle of the forest.
Instead of a swim up bar, it's a hike up bar.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And so, yeah, and it's this same setting, but like I put a bar. I made one because I was like, so here, let me tell you, I'm such a naughty artist. I'm so naughty. I didn't go back to my notes and I didn't say the inspiration and the backstory exactly. There was something really important that I left out. So if you've been following me for a while, friends, you know that I'm a writer. And I've been working on for years a book called Mollyville. It started off as a book, and then I said, "Oh my God, it's not a book; it's a film." I met this guy at the agency, and he was like, "No, come and pitch it to me." And then we realized it's not a film; it's a television series. Because a film is a whatever, but a TV series, you really get more time with the characters, etc. So for the last few years, I've been developing Mollyville, the television series, and these are scenes from it. The concept of this place is that it's an island. It's a remote island. It's been around for centuries, and it's fully cultivated. They use all the high technology stuff, and the concept is like all the crypto people. Now, I started writing this before I even knew about crypto, but it was the same concept, is that the smartest, most wealthy people found this place where it was so remote that no country would try to like own it. They basically found a place where they could just do whatever they wanted. And so people started migrating there. And that's the concept of this place. And so things are different there. They don't have money, they have a different lifestyle. And so these are images from this idyllic lifestyle that I dreamt up. And so one of the things that I concocted is something that looks like oh gosh, those machines where they have the levers like this, and you can lift things and move things, has like huge like tires. So I converted one of those into a bar. So imagine like a mobile bar that you could like drive around. So I created all kinds of like crazy machines and stuff, but mixed in this setting. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. Um,
She's a writer. She's an art star.
We're drinking in the woods, friends. We're drinking in the woods. Okay,
Although
now for my.
that
Hmm.
song doesn't have the appropriate reference, but when you said you're a writer, but I listen. I mean, I envision you creating your writing, merging your writing and this kind of inspiration with like maybe like a Sora, maybe creating some kind of like movie with this aesthetic and this culture that you're creating.
It's
I want to
happening.
live in the Maximilian metaverse. Can I live there? Rent
Yeah,
free?
absolutely. I've got a place. I've got a lot for you. I've got a plot for you.
Yes.
Now, for the final piece of the day, something special. I know everyone's been seeing Garden of Pepavaggio, but here's a little special, something special
Because none of this
from
has
the
been
garden.
special at all.
Well, you know what I mean. It's something that hasn't been seen yet. So, take a little gander at this.
Can
Wait,
you
So,
can you
play it
run
again.
that back? Can you
of
run that back,
course,
please?
I'll put it on a loop here.
Oh, hello. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, get out of my airspace.
So I call this one Naughty Pepavaggio. Naughty Pepavaggio. Um,
Yes, that smirk.
if you can imagine, this piece is about boundaries.
Is
And
that bird
so
like a hybrid fluffy bird slash? Can't quite see it.
This is like a hybrid bird moth. So I was like, this is a bird. I was so inspired though. I was doing some studying and I found like these moths that I swear they look like birds. I've seen some of them out here, but this is a bird. But it just gets, all up in her stuff a little bit too close. And this was actually an outtake, but I thought it was so funny. And I'm like, of course she would do that, like, don't be rolling up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
So
I think the Peppas need like their own TV show or something. Like they need a plot.
I think, what do you mean?
We're getting
Like,
there. We're
like
getting
I don't know.
there.
They have so much personality. They're so fierce. They have so much personality. There's so much style. They have they're powerful. They're like very much in their bodies. They know what they want. Like, Real Housewives of the Metaverse, like Peppa Vaggio series. No,
You
but
know
She
you know
said
what I mean.
they know what they want.
You know what I mean. Like I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
I
see them
do.
like come to life in like a narrative, if that makes sense. They are a cultural phenomenon.
Maximilian,
Yes.
I love this. You know what? Is it possible to have her eyes blink as you first pan? Oh, no, no, no. Let her run. Let her run. It'll help me to. There we go. There we go. In that first couple of frames there, if she could blink her eyes right there.
Oh, so you're directing my art, are you now?
No, no, no. I'm wondering if she could.
Blink your eyes. That's like Alfred Hitchcock. Okay, after that second line, blink your
Right there.
eyes.
Right
But no,
there.
he used to do that. Alfred Hitchcock was notorious for saying stuff like that.
Do
Seriously.
I have to?
Yeah.
Famous,
You say your line, you blink your eyes, then you take the breath. Okay. But
Listen,
tell me about the eye blinking. Tell me what that
because
is for you.
that look. I mean, she looks like Mary J. Blige. She fine as fudge,
Real love. Mm.
and just a little blink of the eyes there, a little demure, a little blink of the eyes. It just
She's
draws.
not demure. This is not the demure Peppa.
She's fierce, but there's something in that. If the eyes, it's fantastic. The art, the direction, the Mothbird, and her attitude, like get away from me. What are you doing? I didn't invite you here. It's fun. It's fun. It's iconic.
But you need the extra eye blink. You want the tell me what that's about. What is that? What are you saying with that?
There's something about, I don't know. I want to just see that eye blink because it, like, if I'm gazing at you and I blink, I think that'll bring you more into my world.
Oh yeah, you think cutting off eye contact by closing your eyelids brings me closer, do you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If you're giving me that soft blink, because sometimes when you're flirting, I don't have any hair, so I can't do it, but you kind of play with your hair or you play with your ear, and there's that blink of the eye that happens when you're attracted to somebody, when they're putting, that thing that happens.
You know what? You must be flirting with different women than the kind of woman I am, because let me tell you something. Flirting is direct eye contact without blinking.
See, that's terrifying to me. It's like, does this person want to kill me, or do they want to eat me,
I
or
want to eat you. I want
okay,
to eat you. Hak
okay,
toi.
all right,
I want to eat you.
I'm in. We'll stop.
I want to eat you. Fiona, do you close your eyes when you're flirting? How do you flirt? Is it direct eye contact or you're doing a lot of blinking and playing with your earlobes?
I'm not sure actually.
We're going to have to watch her
Maybe I
and
think
see.
it's the hair. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
I do agree that the blink might make her more humanistic. I mean, already the smirk is super, human, but the blink might be like, yeah, right
But
there.
I don't know if Maximilian wants to make her human.
Well, I think that, I don't know, like Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, it could go either way. I personally don't know how much work it takes to do, like, this is,
A
you're
lot.
creating the designer, the character in Blender, I assume, or one of the 3D applications, and then you're using, I don't know, After Effects or something to create this movement. So I can imagine that it's, yeah, it's I mean, listen,
Stunning.
you're the, as the creator, obviously you're, I guess the Blink would add a dimension, but I don't necessarily see like you have to do it. I want to know more about this bitch. Like, who is she? Like, where does she go out? Like,
This
can I
bitch is at the
join her
after
at the
hours,
club?
okay?
Where
Yes,
does
you could
she
join her at the
shop?
club.
Like, I need that jacket like yesterday. Like, that earring is
Look at
so
that
hot.
blouse.
I love it's like a bodysuit, like a BDSM type bodysuit. Like, I need to ask my lover for that for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna give a reference right now. Be like, I want that.
Okay,
It would look so good on you. Oh my gosh.
and I don't. I mean,
High-waisted pants that are leopard too.
I love the lighting. I love the bokeh. I love everything about this. I was just wondering what it would look like if she blinked her eyes softly as that first second of a frame there, right there. Just because I feel like the camera's pulling back and her gaze is drawing you in. I mean, this is really fantastic. This is, to me, revolutionary art. And I'm not saying that I don't love it, because I absolutely do. And I can look at this all day. I wish I had a big screen that I could actually have this as my living art on my wall.
Me too.
Yeah, this is great.
What's this Peppa? What's her name?
You know, I didn't give her specifically a name. I don't always name each character. They have to tell me what their names are.
I mean, I want to see this at the Met. I want to see this at the MoMA or the Getty. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
it's gonna get into the Sotheby's thing for sure.
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. Well, let me tell you just one thing about this artwork. So this is an interactive artwork, again with the secret words. So this is a piece where this is actually a hidden piece. That's why it's so special that I'm showing it to you, because you have to know the secret word to make the naughty Peppa show herself. Like I told you, this is an outtake. You can't have animals being mean to birds, even if it's in jest, because she's only kidding, right? She's not going to hit that little bird. But it's an outtake. So when you look at the original, so it's a still image, and if you type in GM, then she will come to life, and the branches will sway and the flowers. And then if you type in GM friend, it'll come to life, and the other little bird, not this red one, but another little bird will show up and fly right here, and they kind of have a moment together. This is a secret image that only shows up when you do a secret gesture. And so that's the way that this works. So that's why I wanted to take the time to show this to you, because it won't always be seen. It doesn't always get the forefront.
By the way, I know that it's based on the Pepe, obviously, but I'm wondering, and I don't know the answer to this, if you can somehow copyright your oh cool, Zonderling, that's so nice of you. I'm wondering if you can copyright the Peppas in some way, because I see them, they're so iconic, they have so much personality, they're so hot that I could see some crypto degen taking them and creating.
Don't give them ideas, Fiona.
I know. I'm just
You
saying.
know, the truth is, if
Register your
anyone,
IP somehow. I don't know how, but
you know, that's interesting. We'll have to talk with some attorney friends and talk about that, because it's a meme, and technically, I'm violating someone else's intellectual property. It just so happens it's with informal permission. You know,
right. Well, that's different, you know.
yeah.
Formal permission is different.
Yeah, informal permission. But you know, I just want, you know, if anyone's looking at this, yeah, don't try to make anything with my artwork. I will come for you.
Exactly.
Don't
But, you
try
know,
it.
it's if you have the, well, actually, I think theoretically, if you put something online that is yours, I think that
You don't
technically.
even have to put it online. The moment that you make something, you own the copyright. Unless
Okay.
you explicitly, in writing, give someone else permission to do something with it, it's mine and I will win in any court of law. No one has any right to take anything
Don't.
that I create and make a derivative without my explicit written permission. Period. That's the law.
There you go. That's what's up.
Yeah. So yeah, so this is the one the final piece.
Dude, dude. I mean, come at me if you don't agree with this, but
Let me get my tomatoes ready. Let me get my tomatoes ready.
come at me all you want. I mean, listen, I know I respect that each one is this like crazy time-consuming artistic creation, but but what
I would
if
really like if she blinks the left eye and then she should blink the right eye. Then she should take the breath.
oh right, she's winking at the
No, I'm
okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, no, that wasn't what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like I want this to be. I mean, I'm not saying this as like a trying to downgrade your work, but maybe there's like Las Pepas PFP. Maybe it's just like a series of like 500, like a small little community, because like like
Mm,
this is so iconic. This is so feminine, so powerful, so engaging, so speaking to our culture that we're in, and so speaking to kind of like this like fashion aesthetic that is, metaverse meets real world. And there's so much of that I see in Las Pepas, that I see in uh, you know, a lot of women that are like successfully like putting themselves out there as artists too. This very like assertive, slight dominatrixy kind of references, but that's okay. I think that's great. I mean, women need that.
yeah.
And
I love that you said that. I love it. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Fiona, but
oh,
could you
interrupt.
could you unpack something that you just said? That's very interesting. You said dominatrixy and women need that. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've just been kind of trained in society to be quiet, to not speak up, to sort of like be a little bit less vocal than I think we deserve to be. And this idea of like reclaiming that, and just the no fucks given of a dominatrix, the like I'm in charge and you gotta deal with it. Like call me a bitch, I don't care. Um and like I think that embodiment, like it really speaks to me. I mean, I know I've collected a lot of women PFPs, and I like them. I like the aesthetic. I like what the community stands for. But I I just would love I just think that this would be a really I think the PFP would speak to men too. I really do, because yeah, I think um men like powerful women too. I mean, our society says that, oh no, men like women that are like stupid and like, oh my god, what is this? Oh, what's blockchain? What's crypto? But I don't think that's true. I don't think the real men feel that way. I think it's the insecure ones that can't handle a powerful woman. But anyway, I really like this direction. Of your work, and I know it's not a contest for me. And when I'm talking about like the greater art in our community, the art that I've seen, the art that where we're headed, kind of like in the future, I feel like the Peppas just have so many legs, like, and the Scalavaggia does too. I mean, obviously that's a new project for you and you're still developing it, but the Peppas like is really speaking to this culture and to this newfound like feminine identity of empowerment that I mean, I don't want to say newfound, but you know what I mean? Like this uh self-realized woman that is dressing the way she wants, has the attitude because she just can. You know what I mean? Like I'm not telling you to abandon your other stuff, but I'm just saying like this work to me is just it's so you're totally gonna get into the Sotheby's thing. Like it's not even a thing. And if you don't, I'm gonna go after them.
Yeah. Well, you're so adorable. I love you, Fiona,
But
and
I
and
I
I
do have to bounce off though, my love. I'm very sorry.
No, this is all good. This was the last one. So
Oh,
before you go, if maybe you just remind everyone who you are and tell us how we can support you this week.
Sure. Okay. My name is Fiona Aboud, and I am a social impact artist. I've been fucking around on the blockchain since 2021, doing a variety of things, but mostly focused on how blockchain can help solve problems that humans haven't quite figured out how to solve. I am launching a contest that is about impact, and it's going to sort of I'm changing the parameters, I'm changing the kind of mission of it, but I want to challenge us as an artistic community to help tell stories that are being, they're that people in power are trying to dampen, trying to take the flame out, trying to burst our fucking balloon. Like, you can pop my fucking balloon, but I have the blockchain, so go fuck yourself. Like, sorry, like, and it's funny, like, I'm not gonna say anything against X because we're on it right now, but I am gonna go hard on these decentralized ways of sharing because I'm just like tired. I'm tired of the bullshit. Like, I'm all about, like, let's be decentralized. Like, let's not just make money from decentralized money and art. Like, let's make every aspect of our lives decentralized. Um so yeah, that's my philosophical statement. You can find me on Twitter. Here I am on Twitter. You can find me all of my platforms, my username. I'm on Blue Sky, Farcaster, X, Instagram. I'm on also oh my god, I can't even remember the name. I just signed up this morning. Pixel, oh fuck, what's it called again? The decentralized Instagram is called, hold on, oh my god, Pixelfed. Sorry.
Oh, I've
I
never heard of this.
I
Pixel
literally
Fed.
joined this morning. I saw a news article
Oh,
that was like, Meta and Instagram are blocking accounts that are like information for women seeking control over their bodies. Doesn't
what?
matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter what that control is. Women deserve to have fucking control. And I was just pissed. And I like looked up decentralized Instagram and this came up and I was like, all right, let's go. I haven't quite figured it out yet because it always takes me like forever to figure out new things, but it's very similar. I mean, it's hard because, I have no audience there. I have no reputation, like, but I'm going to start building. I'm going to take my screen time away from the platforms that I've given so much to and start to build a new following and build a new brand on another platform. So, cuz it's we should own our data, we should own our creativity, we shouldn't be beholden to, like, I was so afraid to release this picture up here on Instagram because it
Tell
has
us about what that is, if you don't mind, so that we can
sure.
understand why.
Sure. It's a photograph series of a friend of mine who is a professional dancer, and it's my reinterpretation of her choreography as sort of a study for women right now to start our revolution against many things that are happening in the US, well, many parts of the world actually. Many governments, many nationalistic, some might say fascist governments that are in power now that wish to control our bodies, and this is my ode, my study, my call to war, my call to action, war through art. I'm a pacifist. And it's the first in this series. I'm working on two more. And I had fear of posting to Instagram because it shows titties, it shows vagina, it shows ass. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get flagged and banned and all my whole thing is gone. Like, screw that. So I'm posting it to this new thing, and you click like NSFW, so people that don't want to see nudity aren't gonna see it, and problem solved. Like, people self-select. Like, do you want to see this? No, you want yes? Okay, great. Like, who cares if like, I mean, it's so ironic because, like, so many men I know on Instagram, like, they're looking at women, it's like they're looking at boobs, they're looking at ass, like they're looking at that, and like there can be two sides to one platform. Like I might like, I like a lot of artist calls, looking at art. I like a lot of dog and duck videos. I love ducks. I don't know why. They're so funny. Penguin, like your own feed can just be your own world, and you don't have to censor. I mean, I do feel differently about hate and violence, but I also feel like community people will kind of vote that down or not give that attention, or that'll be another side to that world that maybe I'm not a part of because I don't care. I don't wish to hate. I wish to love. So anyway, that's my inspirational speech for the day.
That's beautiful, Fiona. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing your insights. I will put to very good use your insights on my art and how I might elevate it to your taste. And appreciating that everything everyone shared is subjective. It means a lot to me to have this time with you, and I really appreciate you, sis. I'm so proud of you, and I hope that you'll continue to do your groundbreaking work. And I look forward to supporting you. And just thank you so much for everything you do, Fiona.
Thank you so much for everything that you do and for being such a lovely, bright, joyous, talented, empowered woman in this space. And feel free to ignore all my suggestions, by the way. They're just my art brain goes choo 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 choo. And,
I
you know,
want it. I want it. I wouldn't have invited you if I didn't want to know because I really genuinely feel that having so just remember, like, you're curated. This is a curated group of opinions. I highly respect and admire your artistry. Everything I've seen you do, I love, and it's totally different from anything that I could ever conceive. I could say the same about Berhanu and also Bit Savage, but I know your heart, I know your philosophies, I know much of your mind that you've shared with me, and I love it all. So
and
I
you know
felt
my dark side.
100%. Yeah, I love that's my favorite part of you. So delicious. So delicious. I love that you hold nothing back. I love that you give no fucks. I love that you're not afraid to say something's trash or that you don't like something. And that's why I value your opinion so highly. And I appreciate that you're not afraid to tell me anything and that you're not mad at me ever for having a different opinion. So and I
Never.
could say the same about you, Berhanu Bit Savage. So you're my most trusted friends, and I appreciate and I love your insights. So I just only can thank you. And don't think for a moment I don't understand how hard it is to share insights with a friend on their artwork. I know how heart wrenching that can be. So I really appreciate you investing in me, helping me make my art better.
Anytime, sis. Anytime.
You're the
Kiss.
best.
Kiss,
Mwah.
Brahanu. Can't wait to catch up. Bye. Okay.
All right. Well, it's just you and me, friends. And I want to thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you know that when you're watching the stream, you're part of the conversation. You can always ask questions in the chat, and I will do my best to answer. It's been really fun sharing some of my unreleased works with you. You'll see them soon on Transient Labs. It's like my favorite place these days to be putting artwork. And I'm usually minting on base these days. However, if as a collector you have some other preference and you really, really want it on mainnet, no problem. Just let a wizard know. My name is Maximilian, and this has been my art. In case you joined late or you didn't get to see it all, let's do a quick recap, shall we? So this was the final piece that I showed. This is a piece from the collection of Pepavaggio artworks, and this is a special outtake. This particular work is one scene in a work that is interactive. My interactive pieces on Transient Labs, they're all different, but this one in particular works with secret words. So this scene that you're seeing now, it's not forward facing. You've got to type in the secret word for it to show up. So the secret word to make the naughty Pepavaggio show up, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it won't be a word at all. Maybe it will just be a gesture. I'll tell you, since you're here to see the naughty Pepavaggio, when I meant this artwork, you just click and drag. And while you're dragging, you'll see the naughty Pepavaggio. This is, you know, the Galfa. That's alpha from a gal. So that's the ticket. Another artwork that I showed today is I showed my Scelavagios. Scelavaggio is a new series that I have coming out. I haven't released it yet. I talked about it earlier. Here's one image from it that you might enjoy. So here it is, my Scelavaggio piece. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So I love the Scelavaggio pieces. These are really fun pieces. And for the most part, there are, at this time, I think there's like 5 different collections within the collection. So this is like one style of art that's within the Scelavaggio collection. These are all really fun pieces. They're the skeletons at play. They're recreating, they're drinking, they're dancing, they're playing pool, they're smoking weed. They're doing all the things that we do that we hope to do in the afterlife. My God, I hope it's not boring. Just kidding. I know I'm going to have a great time. I'm already there having fun. So this is one of the pieces that I showed. Again, this will also be on Transient Labs, and you can just look for Scelavaggio if you're ever looking for these pieces. So this is another piece that I shared earlier in case you join the live stream late. This is another work from the Scelavaggio collection here. This is my, oh, here we go. Burhanu's come back to join us. Hey, Burhanu. Uh,
Hey,
Hey, so I'm just showing just before I was gonna go off, I thought you left me, so I was like, oh well, I guess let me show everyone the last works for the people that joined late. So this is another piece, another Scelavaggio. Um, this is the red block collection. So if you like the Scelavaggios and you're looking for these, you can put in Scelavaggio and red block. And this is another interactive artwork. When you visit this work on the blockchain, if you tap the image with your mouse, so you have to use a desktop to make a lot of these interactive features work. On mobile, it's not the same because some of these are keyboard activated. And you know, when you're on mobile, the keyboard is usually hidden. But if you're on mobile and you have a Bluetooth keyboard, you might have some traction. So this is a red block Scelavaggio. And the other pieces that I showed today, I showed this piece from the Gilf Vision. This was a favorite with our friends today. You see here, take this caption off my friend's face. Hold on. Uh, let's see. Oh, am I frozen? Sometimes we get a little frozen action. Can you? Oh, here we go. We're back. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the cat is so beautiful, Verhanu. So here we go. This was the other piece that I showed today. This is from Gilf Vision, and Fiona said she would love to see more of this, and so you can do that. If you go to my Gilf Basel, this is a pop-up exhibition in the metaverse. This is a gallery built on Cyber. So you can check it out. It's quite fun inside there. So you'll see some of the Gilf Vision pieces there. And if you've got questions, you can usually click on the artworks and get more info. And you can always ask me as well. So that's gilfbasel.galfa.buzz. If you don't trust QR codes, although I made this one, I can vouch for its safety. You can put in gilfbasel.galfa.buzz. So that's it. And yeah, just wanted to make sure that everyone got a chance to see these. And yeah, it's been so fun sharing this artwork with you. Brahano, it's been so much fun hanging out with you. So what are your thoughts? You were the first one actually to do this series of critiques and everything. And so now I've had to go. So what do you think? Is this something like I think we should keep going with this. So what are your thoughts and feelings?
I really do feel that it's impactful to have these critiques, these live critiques. And, you know, some folks may say, well, why do I need to have a critique? Well, why don't you have a critique? I think it's inspirational and it's helpful to have other artists and non-artists look at your work and give live feedback, um, as long as it's constructive.
Hmm.
Um, it's inspirational. It also builds that camaraderie, of support and encouragement. To have other friends or friends that you haven't met yet give some feedback into what you're creating. I think as a photographer, as an artist myself, if I didn't have people giving me feedback and critique and criticism, I would probably stop creating
Mm,
because I don't know if I'm having an impact on people. Yes, I create work for myself, and the work that I create, I'm creating it because I enjoy what I'm seeing and what I'm capturing, what I'm making an image of, and I hope that that has an impact on somebody else's life. So I think we should definitely keep going. Um, and once a week is great, you
yeah,
know.
for sure.
Definitely open it up to more artists who want to explore and experience, being a part of a supportive community that's going to critique and encourage.
Yeah. Well, we got something very special next week. Now, next week is not a critique, but it's not
Yeah.
a critique.
Yeah.
It's just a treat. Next week, we've
Yeah.
got Victoria West coming to share her provocative works, and I cannot wait. But not a
Yes.
critique, a deep dive where she's gonna share. She's gonna decipher, unpack, share the backstory, the inspiration, her messages, everything. And she sent me some of the images. I've got all over body shivers just going over and over, just rippling through my body. But I know
Yeah.
Victoria is a very good friend of yours. Where did you meet Victoria?
Victoria and I met on Clubhouse, I think in 2019 or 20, and we just hit it off immediately. And, that's my heart. I have so much respect and love for her, to Mars and beyond. Mars and beyond.
She's so
Yeah.
lovely.
She's an incredible person. Very, very strong opinions and very strong in her convictions and stands on those. And I love all of the work she does for animal rights as a vegan.
Mhm.
And really encourages people from a loving yet strong place of considering why you should not eat meat, why you should consider changing your lifestyle with regards to dietary, what you're eating. She's just an amazing person, and I can't wait to have her on next week, and
Woo!
her on the platter.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so super excited. Yeah, she's my plant-based sister. We got to meet for the first time in person at Art Basel, and it was just such a joy. And her energy is just so delicious.
And
It's like
this.
gold sparks. It's like rose gold sparks,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And when
Mm-hmm.
I met her, she had her hair. She had like these two knots right here, and then this was down, and it was just such a fierce look. And her whole fucking outfit, and it's just like, you just
Yeah.
want to like, hug, eat, listen, lean in. She's fascinating. She's phenomenal. She's uplifting. She's radiant. And I know she's had a very interesting life. And I'm so looking forward to spending that time with her. So, yeah, so next week is a special treat. But the week after that, which would be the first week in February, we gotta get an artist who wants to do their work. Maybe we could get Bit Savage or Fiona or some other friend to come in and share their pieces. If anyone would be interested, or if anyone thinks that their work could be enhanced with some feedback, uh, because I think it's all about the kind of feedback that we receive, and I found this to be really helpful and inspiring. So yeah, if you know anyone, I hope you'll suggest to them.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely, we should start working on like getting a good lineup and making certain that our internet services are working appropriately, although we have no control over
Right.
that. Like right now, I think I still think I'm
No, you're
lagging. I
great.
keep
Well, not for
freezing.
me.
Like, oh, I'm good. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
you
okay,
look and
great,
sound
great.
totally
Yeah,
solid. You're
on my end,
solid.
oh, sweet. Okay. Well, let's just pray that this doesn't happen next week or the week after, that I continue to. What the hell is this? I don't use Apple Music. Why?
Focus.
Yeah. Just getting alerts from services that I don't use. Anyway, I'm looking forward to next week. And yes, getting more artists, and I will, of course, keep my not just my feelers out there, but I will actually encourage other artists to join us and get their names on the roster to start having more artists
Right
come
on,
through.
cool. Well, Berhani, what do you got going on this weekend?
Yeah.
How can we support you? I've got your QR code up here.
What I have going on this weekend, I am in a little bit here. I'm going to the Framers. I have to submit more work to the art museum, to the art museum
Love
gallery.
that.
So I'm going. Yeah, so I'm going to have some new work framed. I have to submit a couple of well, give a couple pieces to a
Ooh.
client. I had a photo shoot last night. I need to work on that. Yeah, there's this one diva that I've been working with for a few years now, and he's absolutely amazing, but he doesn't have the confidence
Ah,
in himself. Yeah.
he'll be back, everyone. He just had an internet connection disconnection problem. It's like that sometimes. I'm sure he'll be right back. It just takes a moment to reconnect. It's so funny when someone's talking and then they just totally are gone, right in the middle of a sentence. What? Okay. Well, I can't let my friend go out like that. I'm sure he'll be back any moment. That's so funny. I can see right now he's probably frantically trying to sign in. That's what we do when these things happen. You frantically try to sign in. So here he is. Hey. Oh, hey.
So
Internet.
technology.
No, we're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
Yeah.
We got you. We got you.
So yeah, this gentleman, he doesn't believe that he's sexy, he's funny, he's androgynous, he's he's Baltimore. And he doesn't believe that he is a good model or that he is a good subject. And I keep encouraging him.
Oh, can you angle it maybe so we can see without the window glare? Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
dang it.
Oh, no, no, that's better because we could. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a striking visage.
Yeah. He's a really great
Striking.
artist. You know, he's a death doula.
Oh, a death doula. Get
Yeah.
out.
But
Tell everyone what that is. Wait, tell everyone what that is, please.
so he helps people that are processing the grief of losing a family member, a friend, a pet, or whatever. Helps you to process the grief of having a person that transitions to be with your ancestors, helping you to facilitate their going home by candles and poetry, fragrances, anything that has to do with a safe journey and travel for transitioning into your next life. He's also an entrepreneur. He had what are they called? Spa, yeah, a health and wellness spa. And he's a fashionista, LGBTQ activist. He does a lot of marches, and he's just, you know, for the people. He's a great guy. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. So what am I up to? That's what I'm up to today, and that's what I'm up to this weekend. Um, I'm actually going out. I don't know if it's a date or if we're just getting yeah, exactly. Met this woman.
Ooh. Oh, you have a
Yeah.
romantic date? Oh, let me get into your business now,
Well, I'm
Berhanu. You're
not.
going on a date? How exciting.
Well, again, I'm not sure if it's a date or not. I'm Mr. Rogers. I don't know. This stuff goes over my head because I'm so far. I'm so far from understanding how to be romantic anymore. I'm just, you know. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Rogers. There you go.
Mr.
Um,
Rogers was married, okay, for a
this is
long
true.
time.
He did
So
get
he knew
his.
all about romance.
Yeah. So anyway, she's pretty new to town. She's also an artist. So we're gonna get together and go for a walk and get some dinner and get to know each other.
That sounds so fun. I hope you have an amazing evening. And
Yeah.
yeah,
If anything, I hope we have an amazing time getting to know each other. Whether it's romantic or not, that's not really the goal. It's just a matter of getting to know somebody new.
absolutely. I mean, like all, like not all, but many of my friendships are romantic because I'm a romantic person, you know. And I love spending quality time with friends. I'll
Yeah.
totally buy you flowers. I love holding hands,
Yeah.
and I love hugging and just being close with friends. And I feel like romance and sensuality is not the same as sexuality. And
Amen.
you can have a beautiful romantic friendship with someone who loves you and wants to support you and even will hold you in their arms and tell you they love you and they absolutely mean it.
Mm,
And maybe something sexual will develop from that. Maybe it won't, but the love is there for you no matter what. And that to me is the best kind of friendship of all. So I wish you the very best with
yeah,
your new friend, and I look forward to hearing any details you wish to share.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you give amazing hugs, by the way. Your hugs are just mm, like wrap me in your cocoon.
Well, thank you. You inspire me to keep doing my energy
Yeah,
work so that those hugs can just continue to be uplifting. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Yeah, much appreciated.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, I will you send me off on my day, I'll send you off on your day. We'll carry each other through this day, energetically inspiring each other and staying connected.
100%. 100%.
All
Thank you so
right.
much for everything, for Hanu. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful time to have spent time with my friends today and also with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. At this time, I see I have 134 people that are watching live, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Please know that the stage is open to you. And if you would like to come and share your art or your story or your project, I'd love to meet you. So don't be afraid to reach out. My DMs may not be open, but tag me and we can start a conversation. Thank you for spending this time with me and take care.